Fresno police released new details in recent homicide investigations. I'm Alexis Molina, and I'll have the latest tonight at 8.
The Applegate Zoo, located in Merced, is getting rebranded as well as upgrades. I'm Marcus Esparza, and I have the full detail coming up.
45 counties, including Kern County, delay the launch of a major mental health law. I'm Emma Ott with all the details tonight at 8.
Also tonight, this just in from the Fresno County Sheriff's Office, an intoxicated driver was sentenced for a crash that killed 3 and injured 5 back in 2021. And
oh my gosh, it's a miracle. They're getting them out.
Look at these 2 huskies in a Fresno canal. Luckily, Fresno Fire saves the day. Your news in prime time is next.
New, local, unique. MyTV53 News at 8 starts right now.
Good evening. Welcome to the San Joaquin Valley's only 8 p.m. news. I'm Austin Reed. It is Tuesday, December the 5th. Thank you for joining us. Our big story tonight is in Merced, where the City Council received positive updates this week about a community treasure. The Applegate Zoo in Merced just rebranded their whole image. And now the hope to expand is looking bright. MyTV53's Marcus Esparza joins us with the very latest. Marcus, good evening.
A rebranding of the Applegate Zoo, located in Merced, is in the works. Here's what's happening. Since 1961, Applegate Zoo has been a staple located in Applegate Park with around 30,000 visitors a year. The zoo has become a rescue center for animals unable to survive in the wild.
The zoo is a rescue. We do not breed our animals for entertainment. We do not purchase our animals.
The Zoological Society that managed the park was established in 1983 that was in charge of groundskeeping, volunteer operations, as well as fundraising. Unfortunately, after 40 years, they were unable to continue their assistance with the park and disbanded. At that point, all zoo recreations were assigned to the Parks and Recreation Department. The zoo today currently provides education, recreation, and conservation, but there is a goal to rebrand and upgrade as well as expansions to the park.
The master plan of Applegate Zoo projects expansion towards 25th Street, as you guys can kind of see there in Phase 4. The goal is to use this investment, this ARPA investment, to showcase what can be done at Applegate Zoo.
Without further ado, I'd like to present to you the proposed logo for Merced Applegate Zoo, where every animal has a story.
As a native species rescue, the logo upgrade encourages the ongoing mission of conservation, recreation, and education that the park offers. I'm Marcus Esparza with MyTV53 News at 8.
All right, Marcus, thank you for that story. There are currently several controlled burns occurring across Merced County. There are 2 large agricultural controlled burns on Olive Avenue at Kibbe and Arbadella Drive at Kibbe, causing unhealthy air quality for the surrounding areas, including the main UC Merced campus. The controlled burns will continue through Friday, December 8th. Conditions may shift. Children, the elderly, and people with respiratory ailments are the most susceptible under these smoky conditions. Face coverings and N95 respirators for voluntary use are now available on the main UC Merced campus. Around 4:30 this morning, Fresno firefighters responded to this blaze in a vacant home. When firefighters arrived, they reported heavy smoke coming from the structure and quickly initiated a fire attack. This blaze is believed to have started on the exterior and then spread to the building. 25 firefighters responded to this incident and were able to quickly limit the damage. Also new from Fresno Fire, this happened over the weekend. It was a double husky rescue.
Oh my gosh, it's a miracle. They're getting them out. It just took a fire department to do it.
Well, tonight, the fire department wants other pet owners to not make this a regular occurrence. FFD wants folks to remember that canals can be hazardous with and without water flowing in them. Now, the sides can be steep and slippery, making it very difficult to get out. So make sure to keep your little ones and pets at a safe distance from canals all across the city. Developing from the Fresno Police Department, earlier this afternoon, we learned many new details in a total of 3 murder investigations. MyTV53 News was at the press conference, and new at 8, reporter Alexis Molina brings us up to date on 2 of those cases.
We're going to bring you up to date now on 2 cases. First, a suspect has been identified in a November 27th homicide. Today, FPD identified 18-year-old Philip Bautista as the suspect in a deadly shooting that occurred in central Fresno. The shooting was in the area of Clinton and Drexel Avenues. Luis Valencia was shot to death at the Park Grove Apartments at Clinton and Fresno Street around 10 p.m. And now the department is asking for the help from you to locate this young man.
During the dispute, it became physical. Mr. Bautista armed himself with a firearm and shot Mr. Valencia that caused his demise. And, as I mentioned before, this Philip Bautista is a person that is known to law enforcement.
In another case, we learned who the victim was in a homicide investigation near the area of Geneva Avenue and River and Chester Riggins Avenue. This occurred on Saturday just after 8:30 p.m. Southwest officers were sent to the 2300 block of South Eunice for a stabbing victim. When officers arrived, they discovered a 38-year-old Andre Fain suffering from a stab wound. Fain was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. Officers detained another male adult near Elm Avenue and River and Chester Riggins Avenue, who was believed to be involved in a dispute with Fain. Detectives interviewed this male along with several witnesses, but there have been no arrests in the investigation.
There have been no arrests in this investigation, and the detectives are investigating circumstances surrounding Fain's death. The case is being currently treated as a homicide investigation.
If you have any information on both investigations, please reach out to Fresno Police. Reporting for MyTV53 News at 8, I'm Alexis Molina Austin. Back to you.
Okay, Alexis, the investigation into a 3rd homicide that also occurred this past Saturday continues. Now, at 4 a.m., we told you about this case last night. Southeast officers were dispatched to the 4300 block of East Olive Avenue. Officers arrived and located 4 adult male gunshot victims. All 4 victims were transported to the hospital. 2 of the victims succumbed to their injuries. As for the suspect or suspects, here's what we found out today.
I can tell you that as of approximately 1 hour ago, we have arrested the suspect responsible for the death of both of those individuals, and he's being identified as 33-year-old Timmy Siskanoy has been arrested for the death of both those individuals. So we are currently furthering our investigation.
And this just in from the Fresno County District Attorney's Office. Today, 23-year-old Francisco Antonio Portillo of Fresno was sentenced to 19 years and 4 months in state prison for gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. It caused the death of 3 people and injured 5 others. Back on March the 20th of 2021, the man was recklessly driving a black Chevy Camaro near 1st and McKinley Avenues. When a deputy with the Fresno County Sheriff's Department attempted to stop the man, he accelerated away from them, at one point reaching speeds up to 100 miles an hour. A few seconds later, Portillo ran a red light and caused a major traffic collision at the intersection of Cedar and McKinley, which involved multiple vehicles. In the meantime, Valley Crime Stoppers is offering more reward money for a 2021 homicide. The money is now up to $3,000. Visalia PD is requesting the public's assistance in solving the murder of Alex Picasso. The homicide occurred on August 23rd of that year, and the investigation has been ongoing since that time. So call 559-498-STOP or head to valleycrimestoppers.org with any and all information. And we have new pictures this evening from the Tulare County Sheriff's Office. Over the weekend, the department took part in what's called an ATV Net Crisis Demonstration event. The Sheriff's Office participated in the training day at Orosi High School. During this demonstration, deputies simulated an active shooter situation with response from multiple law enforcement agencies, as well as fire and emergency services support. Sheriff Mike Boudreau later spoke on a panel along with various lawmakers and representatives from the Department of Justice. Turning now to our big stories in Kern County for our viewers watching on KNXT 53. The giving season is here, and Hoken Community Blood Bank is urging the public to participate in a blood donation promotion. From now until December 31st, the annual Give Holiday Cheer Before the New Year encourages blood donations to boost the local blood supply while offering prizes each week until the end of the year. According to Bakersfield.com, the last major shortage in Kern was back in May and June when the county was in desperate need of O-negative blood. And finally, in your first few minutes of nonstop news here at 8, city and county officials were briefed on Kern Behavioral Health and Recovery Services expectations that it will delay implementing Senate Bill 43. New at 8, MyTV53's Emma Ott explains why.
Senate Bill 43 expands the state's conservatorship law and rules for involuntary mental health holds, also known as 5150s, expanding the legal definition of gravely disabled. This is when a third party, typically a county public guardian, physician, or police officer, places someone in a psychiatric facility and compels them to take medicine and get treatment. Under the new law, conservatorships can be allowed if it's found that a mental illness or substance use disorder is placing a person's physical or mental health at substantial risk of serious harm. The new bill comes as lawmakers are desperate to solve a mounting homelessness and mental illness crisis worsened by illicit drugs, such as fentanyl and methamphetamine. Allison Burrows, the interim director of Kern Behavioral Health and Recovery Services, said the number of those in Kern who would now qualify would increase tenfold. In 2022, it was estimated that 34% of homeless people in the county deal with substance abuse issues, with many more affected by poor health and physical disabilities. Signed into law in October, the first deadline is January 1st, 2024, with the option for counties to delay up to 2026. This comes as a controversial package of mental health reforms, including SB 363 under the March 2024 docket. If passed, the bill would overhaul and arguably disrupt county mental health budgets. I'm Emma Ott, reporting with MyTV53 News at 8.
Okay, Emma, thank you for that. And that does it for your first few minutes of nonstop news at 8. But don't go anywhere. We are just getting started. Still to come on this Tuesday night.
559 Fights recap, the Bulldogs are going bowling, and the Fuego hosted open tryouts. I'm Valentina Saldaña with those details coming up.
And where you can see the holiday lights right here in Fresno County. All that and more coming up in What's Trending.
Also ahead, we have a brand new We Work For You series from the city of Fresno. Tonight, you will meet Alexander Martinez. He is part of the Fresno Parks and Recreation painting team. And we will take a look at your almost midweek weather forecast. Stay with us. You're watching the news at 8. New, local, unique, and we are back, as always, in a little over 2 minutes.
This is MyTV53 News. New, local, unique with Austin Reed. You're watching MyTV53 News at 8.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, on this 5th of December. New tonight from our partners at Cal Matters. As far back as May, the faculty at the California State University threatened to strike if management wouldn't meet their wage and benefit demands. The prophecy is on full display today as the California Faculty Association has begun the first of 4 one-day strikes. starting at Cal Poly Pomona. Tomorrow through Thursday, the association is planning one-day strikes at Cal State campuses in LA, Sacramento, and San Francisco. There's much more to this story, so just go to calmatters.org. New tonight, and this just in from the high-speed rail, along with Senator Alex Padilla and Jim Costa. It was announced right around 3 p.m. today. Over $3 billion in federal funding is now headed to California high-speed rail. Padilla says that means reduced transportation, emissions, less time in traffic, and more good-paying jobs. Padilla says he championed California high-speed rail's application for this bipartisan infrastructure law funding. When you are at a Fresno park, keep an eye out for Alexander Martinez. He is the Fresno Parks and Recreation painter and puts fresh paint on bathrooms, water fountains, and everything in between at over 80 parks. He and his family love going to the parks too, so he's proud to make them look as good as new. Hey, that rhymed. Time for tonight's latest edition of We Work For You from the city of Fresno.
Yeah, my name's Alexander Martinez. I'm the Parks, Recreation, and After-School Program painter. 20 plus years now I'm painting. When I see something really old and people, thinking about replacing it or whatever, a little bit of prep and some fresh coat of paint, primer, make it all brand new again. We'll come through and scrape any loose paint like we did all in here. And like I say, we'll get all the graffiti off and primer and put a fresh coat of paint back on it. I'm painting like the interiors of the restrooms, exteriors. I painted the drinking fountains. I painted a lot of the poles, red curb, no parking signs, handicap stalls. Just anything that has to do with the park. Like if some of the tables are painted, I'll repaint the tables out here, picnic tables, the poles. I really like it. I'm blessed to be here,
MyTV53 News continues with the Valley's local forecast.
Clearly I first saw you smiling in the sun. Wanna feel your warmth upon me. Wanna be the one. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Only 4 Republican presidential candidates have qualified to take to the stage for a 4th and final debate of the year tomorrow, meaning the audience will hear more from each candidate before the U.S. primaries begin in 2024. Carolyn Persciuti from Voice of America is previewing Wednesday's matchup.
When they gathered a month ago, 5 debated.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Republican presidential debate.
Now, with stricter qualifications, the candidates have narrowed to 4 for the 4th debate. Each will have 2 critical goals: to break from the pack and to distinguish themselves from Donald Trump. So look for more attacks on the former president. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has been branded as the never Trump candidate, but the others have shied away from angering Trump's voter base. Andra Gillespie is a political scientist at Emory University.
I think the question and the difficulty has been identifying what are the issues and concerns that animate that non-Trump wing of the party. So either the wing of the party that is decidedly anti-Trump, or the people who voted for Trump because he was the Republican nominee, but they're not wedded to him and they might be open to the suggestion of voting for somebody else.
These candidates will have 2 hours Wednesday night to speak to Republican voters. The first state caucus vote is 6 weeks away. Carolyn Persutti, VOA News.
Should be interesting. From election news to sporting news, time for sports shorts. From soccer to 559 fights, Valentina Saldana is covering it all for us right now.
The last 559 Fights event was about 2 weeks ago, but here's a quick interview by our partners at MLH Media, who caught up with Moses Contreras.
I'd like to see Moses Contreras next. A lot of successful products have come out of Madera Martial Arts and translated over here to 559 Fights. When can we see those hands fly over there in 559 Fights Gators Cage once again, man?
ASAP. I'm ready to get back in there. Again.
I like it. You got a couple of your visitors, your little brother here, as well as your son. Hey, man, a lot to do it for and a lot to contribute your victory here to tonight.
The Fresno State football team is going to a bowl game for the third straight season. This year, the Dogs have been invited to the 18th annual New Mexico Bowl to face the New Mexico State Aggies. The match will be played at University Stadium in Albuquerque, New Mexico on Saturday, December 16th. This will be Fresno State and New Mexico State's 20th all-time meeting. The Bulldogs lead the series 18-1. This will also be the Bulldogs' 32nd bowl game appearance and the Aggies' 6th bowl game in school history. Additionally, this is the first game of the season without head coach Jeff Tedford, as he temporarily stepped down from his coaching duties due to health concerns last week. Assistant head coach Tim Skipper will be acting as head coach for the bowl game. Kickoff is at 2:45 p.m. and the game will be nationally televised on ESPN. As for soccer, the Central Valley Fuego held its first of a couple of sessions of open tryouts on Sunday. This was the first event of the 2024 season and for Jermaine Jones as head coach. The club expected about 100 participants in attendance with different levels of competitive play. The team is currently in the off-season preparing for their 2024 season. Fuego's first game is set for March 9th in Georgia, and the home opener is at Fresno State Soccer Stadium against Union Omaha. That's all for Sports Shorts. I'm Valentina Saldana. Austin, back to you.
All right, Valentina, next at 8. One announcement has to do with our very own Athena Matsikis. Details in her What's Trending report next in prime time. Hey, finally tonight, time to see what's trending. One announcement even has to do with our very own Greek goddess of gossip. Here's Athena Matsikis with the details.
And for Christmas lights in Fresno County, Christmas Tree Lane is finally opening back up. They just did the first walkthrough a couple nights ago over the weekend. The second night is December 12th. You can always walk Christmas Tree Lane or drive down. That's, of course, down Van Ness in Fig Garden in Fresno. But the one where they actually shut down a bunch of streets hasn't happened in like 2 or 3 years since COVID. It's December 12th, so looking forward to that. You can also walk or go down Candy Cane Lane, that's in Clovis, around Peach and Alluvial, or my house, 2576 Roberts Avenue, Clovis. If you look at the map, all over the news and newspaper, my actual house is featured. My husband does the synchronizing of the lights, and we'd love to have you. I'm Athena, and that's what's trending.
Okay, guess I know where I need to take the kids this weekend. Clovis. Let's get a final look at your forecast from Fresno to Bakersfield. Do expect that quick warm-up and then a quick cool down as we end the week and head into the weekend. Overnight lows every day, though, still going to be chilly. Thank you for watching the Valley's true and only primetime news at 8. I'm Austin Reed, hoping your news is good news. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great rest of your evening.